good morning or good afternoon,
Ciao.
wherever you are in the world, where you are watching this seventh episode. I think it's the seventh. I don't remember
I don't know why
which
you're
number it
looking
is.
at me.
But this is Nomadi on Radio Panini, and I'm so excited today because I have, as you can clearly see by the props on this table here, I have a very special guest today. Her name is Paola.
Hello.
Welcome, Paola.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's nice to be here. It's exciting. It's weird to speak English with you.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, like, this is gonna be the first show in Italian of Radio Panini. No, but it's not gonna. It's not gonna be. We're gonna make the best effort to try to speak our worst English possible.
Oh,
Try
come on.
to be very.
Do you want me to speak with a very Italian accent?
No, please, no. Let's keep it professional. So I'm very happy today because something that maybe no one knows right now, because no one knows, or maybe someone knows, someone that has been around in these few days lately around us. We are friends from
Bari.
Bali. Yes.
Like we were born in the same town.
Same town.
Long time ago.
Very long time ago, almost for me, I would say.
Went to the same high school.
I'm very happy because it's been such like special occasion. Like everything happened in a very beautiful way, because
A quick way, I would say. Unexpectedly.
very unexpectedly. But I remember I wrote you when I remember I saw something on your Instagram stories. I was like, Paola, we need to do a Nomadi episode one day. And then it was like literally probably like a month ago.
Yeah.
And that happened so quickly. And I'm just so happy that you're here.
Yeah,
and
the
that
stars aligned.
we're gonna do this. I am. Have you seen the show before?
I've seen the shows before.
Yeah.
I've seen like 1 or 2 episodes with it was a girl.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a long time I didn't have the
Yeah,
show.
it was a while ago, and I remember seeing like all the shorts on Instagrams as well, and like all the.
Okay, so you know what to expect. No, but today I think generally I try to have a kind of a structure, a bit like chronological structure.
Okay.
While with you, I would like to talk, since we know each other so well, and we kind of know each other, but at the same time, I haven't heard anything from your life in the past like 3-4 years. Now maybe
Probably
5. I would
longer,
say.
yeah.
I'm gonna start with a very silly question,
Okay.
which is how do you like Copenhagen so far?
I really like it. Actually, I feel like I have to stay longer because it's only been 3 days, and I haven't seen much. I had been here before, but like 15 years ago, so it's like the first time all over again. But it's really nice. It's a very nice atmosphere. I think the thing that I noticed the most, like first impression, is that everybody's so relaxed here.
Well, yeah,
And it's so
that's why.
quiet and chill. I'm not used to it because I live in a place that is the complete opposite in that regard.
We're gonna get to that point because that's
So I'm like-
that is like the process where I want to get to, because your life has been spanning, like we met, of course, like one thing very important. We not only are from the same area, we're from the same neighborhood. We lived in the same, almost the same like courtyard, I would say.
I mean, your best friend when you were like 7.
Shout out to Francesco, I want to say.
Shout out to Francesco.
Ciao, Fra. Thank you for making this happen like
Yeah.
25 years or 30 years ago, basically.
We lived in the same building, so that's how we met the first time. We were like
Exactly.
playing volleyball or like football or whatever in
Yeah.
that little garden next
In
to our
that little
building.
garden with your brother too, with all our friends from the neighbor, and
We
also
have so many friends in common.
we have so many friends. We went to the same high school, which is also a pretty like tough thing, right? To say. Went to the same high school. Then our lives separated, basically. So I want to start with this question.
Okay.
How was life in Bali
Still a
when
bit
you
nervous.
left? And why did you leave Bali? Because that's like...
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I so wanted to leave since I was like a kid. I was like, oh, as soon as I turn 18, I'm gonna leave Bari. I really hated it growing up. Now I like it more because I don't live there anymore. So whenever I go back, I'm actually happy to be back and I can see the positive sides. But when I was younger, I was like, I can't wait to leave because it was a bit boring in all honesty. And I like music.
I
and
clearly
there's no
remember.
music.
I clearly remember our lives when we were in the high school, and I clearly remember what we were doing and what we were complaining about. And I'm not surprised that someone like you now is not living anymore there and is actually pretty happy and successful somewhere else.
I mean,
this is something that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, although, I mean, it's a bit sad because I feel like Bali has a lot of potential, but it's also like, you know, there aren't that many opportunities. And if you think about like our generation, everybody left, which is really sad to think about. But
an open question to all the Italians here.
yeah.
Everyone thinks Italy is much better now, right?
It is better now, I feel, compared to when we were like 15. At least Bari it is.
Yeah. It's such a different place right now, I would say. Like, I've seen it changing so much in the last few since I moved here. Every year that I've been going back, I've seen it like getting better, getting more international, more open, more also respectful in general, and more safe, which is something that I would have never expected, to be honest.
Yeah. It is better now. I mean, I'm always happy to go back, especially in the summer. I'm like, okay, no matter where I am in the world, I have to go back in the summer. And in the summer, again, music-wise, there's more going on. Especially, there's more going on compared to when we were like 15. So I'm happy to go back.
There's crazy festivals right now. I would say like Locus Festival, like doing amazing like guests and. Which one is the other one?
There's
Which word we
Viva,
met last time, 4 years ago?
Probably Viva.
Yeah,
that
Viva.
was like a spin-off of Club to Club, and now it's run by other people. There's the CRX that I went to this summer, which was really nice. There's a bunch more. There was one called Fuck Normality Festival, which it wasn't in Bari, but like nearby.
Oh, yeah.
There's quite a few.
I've also been to another festival called
Polyphonic.
Secolare Festival.
Secolare
Very
as well.
underrated, I would say. With like super niche artists.
Yeah, because that was in July, right?
It was in July.
Yeah.
Yes. Which
I wasn't there. Yeah.
When I was back home. Okay, so
Sorry,
one very important thing that I want to ask you.
Yes. Do you want some music?
You have lived so far, for what I know, you have lived your life in. So you lived in Bari, then you left and you went to London.
Well, not right away.
That's what I want to know, because I think I missed so many parts in all your nomadic experience, or your nomadic life, that I really want to know what was like the first thing. I remember you when we were in Bari, when you were still there. Then when uni started, we definitely like kind of separated our ways. And then I stopped knowing what you were doing, and I never asked you. So what was how was the process?
Long story short, I left Bari when I finished high school. Went to Milan for uni, stayed in Milan for 2 years, did my last year of uni in Germany, then graduated, got my degree.
Piece of paper.
Not graduated, whatever. I can't speak English anymore, I'm so confused. After that, I took a gap year. In that gap year, I was traveling a little bit. I was in Japan for 3 months, and then I moved to London.
That's something I remember. I remember you doing a class during like these. It was like, how do you call that? It was like we were doing school, and then in the afternoon we were just like pretending we were occupying the school, being like in charge of the school, but it wasn't really happening. They were allowing us. And I remember you were doing this class.
I can't literally. You told me yesterday. I can't remember at all, but I have really bad memory.
I remember you writing in Japanese on a blackboard.
Such a nerd.
Trying to teach all of us young kids with like maybe like a lot of interest, most probably, but not knowing what we were looking at. And you were just like so passionate, so like, this is. I remember that.
Yeah,
so you had this.
The first time I went to Japan was, so I got into Japanese language and culture when I was like 14, so beginning of high school. And then I started teaching myself Japanese, and then I went to stay with a Japanese family for 6 weeks in the summer when I was like 16. So yeah, that's how it started, basically.
So you always had this like very big drive, big passion for that part of the world, I would say.
Yeah, I was very attracted to Japan and Korea afterwards.
Asia in general.
Yeah, but mostly Japan and Korea, and it was about music and language. So it all started because
Yeah, what was the drive of that? Was like the culture, was the food, was the
it
yeah,
was
the language?
it was music. It was really random. So one day I was just like on the internet doing I don't know what, and I found out about this like Japanese pop singer called Hamasaki Ayumi randomly. And I went to look her up on Wikipedia, and I started reading about it, and then I started watching her videos, and I was like, whoa, I've never seen anything like this, and I've never heard anything like this. It was probably the first time I even heard Japanese in a song. And then I was like, oh, Japanese language seems so cool. Let me start trying to learn the language. So that's how it started.
One of the easiest language in the world to learn, so it was a good idea.
And then what happened was, there was also like a Korean singer who was really popular in Japan at that time. We're talking about like early 2000. Mm-hmm. And that's how I found out about like South Korea and K-pop. Mm-hmm. And so then I started listening to that stuff as well. And then I started going to Japan. And I went to Korea for the first time in 2015. Mm-hmm. And then, well, going back, so Milan, Germany, took a gap year, was in Japan for 3 months. Then I was in London for 6 years. And then 4 years ago, I moved to Seoul, South Korea.
Okay, that's the part that I want to explore more, which is your, I think it's like one of the, probably the biggest experience so far you had, the one in London.
Yeah.
Maybe the one that made you, crafted you. This is something that I am assuming, but
no, for sure.
It's also a question, like, was it London that actually changed you in a way and gave you the structure to become what you are now, what you're doing now in Seoul, or?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, London is, well, first of all, is the place where I lived the longest after Bari.
Yeah.
It was only 6 years, but.
Can I ask you why was London? What was there?
Oh, it was random. It was pretty well. So I was in Japan for 3 months between my BA and my MA, and I wanted to go back to uni and do an MA. And in London, there's this university which I went to, which is the School of Oriental and African Studies. So you can do you can study whatever you want related to a specific area of the world. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go there, study something related to Japan and Korea, and then go back to Asia. That was the original plan. Because the course was also like only a year long. So I applied, went to London, never really dreamt of moving to London. Before moving to London, I'd only been there once with my family when I was 12. So it was pretty random. It was just like about the university. And then I went there, and while I was studying, I started interning at what became my job after uni. And so I ended up
What
staying
was the
6
studies
years.
you were doing specifically?
So it was called Global Creative and Cultural Industries. But basically, then you could choose a path. I chose a music path. And it was basically ethnomusicology, so anthropology of music. Mm-hmm. And I was doing everything related to Japan and Korea, but like contemporary stuff. I didn't do any traditional music. It was more like pop music. I did a course that was like pop and politics.
So it was studies about Japanese, music in the in that area, or was like general?
I mean, you could choose all of your courses basically. So it was all about the creative industries, contemporary pop music, how that is like from an anthropology point of view. So it was like pop and politics, or like gender issues in K-pop, or this kind of stuff, or like aesthetics of like Japanese ambient music, this kind of stuff.
That sounds like
it was fun.
Very fun, very specific. So you already knew you wanted to go like in this path, which was going towards music and cultural impact of music.
Actually, the funny thing is that, so I've always been into music since I was a teenager, but I've never, growing up in Bali, I didn't have friends that had the same music taste that I had. So it was really like, it was a bit lonely. Like I was just listening to music in my room and that was it. And I never really thought, because I'm not a musician, I was like, okay, yeah, this is just an interest of mine, whatever.
You took that. You had that kind of passion.
Yeah, but I never really thought about it seriously up until I went to London. Because then I moved to Milan, and of course in Milan I started going to more concerts, and I was so happy about it because I was like, finally, I can go to concerts because there was nothing in Bari.
You could go and listen to live music.
Yeah. But then I moved to London, and originally the course I did, you could choose music, art, or media path. And I thought I would be doing art, not music, because I was like, yeah, I love music, but I'm not a musician, I can't do this.
What am I gonna do?
But then, like, I went to, like, one of the first days of uni, like, there was this guy who was the convener of my course, who actually passed away this year, which is really sad. And he's a music expert. And so he was, like, teaching one of his classes that was more general about, like, creative industries. And that's when I realized, I was like, wait a minute, I know about music more than I ever realized. And so I was like, let me switch the music path. And then I started doing like music.
This teacher,
yeah,
or like professor, was the one that made you understand that you had this like drive for music rather than for just art or like visual art.
Yeah, also it made me realize that you can like, there's other things that you can do as a music fan. Like you don't have
need
to be
a musician in order to explore the world of music and do stuff.
Yeah.
That's also that's something that brings me to that like part of the interview that I really want to touch base, which is also the reason why I'm quite nervous today, is because I'm having an interview, not being a radio host at all, but to a person that has actually been professionally a radio host. So at the end, you need to also give me like a kind of
but more than
an overview of my performance. I need to know how I performed today. No, but seriously, during the studies, you said that you started doing this internship in the.
Well, first I started radio at uni because the university had a radio station.
Okay.
So that's how I started. So I became part of the radio station there, and
one
they
of those
taught me,
that
all the bases.
One of those that they play in like in American movies.
Kind of like that actually.
In the corridors
yeah.
and
it was really cool. It was really nice, very nice bunch of people, and so that's where I learned. Like I learned how to like host and produce and edit. Like
what was the part you were passionate about in the radio world? Was like, because radio can be selecting. Now there is radio that is just like DJing. There is interviews. There is news. There is politics, psychology. You can talk. You can do whatever. Radio, no?
I mean, that's why I like it, because you can do whatever, and I like also that it's. I mean, now it's very visual as well, because you get like radio that's like broadcasted. But I also like the fact, like when I started, it was like, you know, I was hidden in this room, nobody could see me, and then I would say something about the music that I was playing. I like that. Like now, recently I've been doing radio without talking because I'm in Korea and I'm too scared of like speaking Korea on air.
But I want to say that you can speak.
Yeah,
and
but
I think
wouldn't be
that's
like
already like a crazy.
So I'm not doing it, but I like speaking on the radio. Like I like playing music and then say stuff about the tracks or like.
So you started. I also like I think in your experience you had the opportunity to work in an environment that is like absolutely amazing, and it's also very like it's super important for the modern radio, which is working for NTS. And I remember I heard one of your show, or I saw one of your stories. Was like, okay, cool. What is this? Because I didn't know yet. Because you joined NTS in a very early stages of.
I joined in 2016. So when I was in uni, it was like 2015 to 2016. Then I contacted them. Then they were so NTS was founded in 2011. So it was like really young radio. Then a friend of mine told me about, and then I really got into it because they had a show called Japan Blues that played like very obscure Japanese music. So that's the first thing that
that's my jam.
That I found out about NTS.
I hope you do that.
And then I started listening to NTS and I discovered so many things. And so I contacted them and I was like, please, can I volunteer, do something? And then I started volunteering in 2016, and that became a part-time job, but that became a full-time job, and then I did that for
What
6
were you
years,
doing
more or
in the
less.
radio? Like, what was the? So you said you were. I remember you told me you were doing production.
Yeah, radio production team.
Can you
Shout out to the radio
can you
production
please
team.
explain me what does it mean doing radio production? Like
It was more
practically?
the technical side of it. So I was doing a lot of like audio editing. I was in the studio with the host. If somebody had like a live band, I would like engineer that. We would do like events, and I would engineer that. A lot of like audio editing on the computer as well, but mostly being in the studio with the host. And
So you also had the opportunity to meet very like
Oh,
a
yeah,
lot of
yeah, yeah.
artists
Yeah,
and
yeah.
people.
that was the best part. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was like for hours in the studio with like different people every hour. So that was fun.
I hope you had only very good experience because I know also artists can be pretty.
I mean,
Douchey
sometimes
and,
there's always
no?
like one or two people that you don't really get along with, but
That happens, yeah. And this transition from working in the production to doing your own show,
yeah.
how was
Well,
that?
I wanted to do my own show because I was doing one at the university radio, so that was my very first show. But I was really scared.
What was it about? Or if did you have
It
like
was about Japanese ambient music.
Oh,
It was
of
very
course.
specific and very niche. But we had to be niche at the university because everybody was like studying very specific stuff. So everybody had a very specific show about like a very niche genre and thing. So that's how I started. And then, I mean, I never had a regular show on NTS. I did a couple of shows here and there.
I remember you had something also about Japanese music at some point,
Um,
which I haven't found yet anymore
I
on
don't
the.
even remember
on the-
anymore. No, I did 3 or 4 shows
did a-
under my name, but then I did some like that are not under my name. They're like
I remember a couple
genre
with the
remixes. There's one about like Italian progressive rock.
I remember some breakfast shows,
Oh, I did. Yeah, I guessed it on some
Which is-
breakfast shows.
which is something that I
Yes.
would really like to do. I feel
That
like
that was
it's
fun.
every day that I listen to, I actually still listen to only a few shows on NTS, which is the breakfast shows or like the early bird show, and they are so like I don't know. I really feel like I want to do that at some
Yeah,
point. So
yeah.
I'm hoping that Panini starts opening
You
in the
can do the
morning.
breakfast
maybe, I
show
don't know.
here.
I'll talk to Fra later about this. Do you have a track that is like Japanese ambient music or something that
actually,
it's
Of course.
very much something you were listening to in that period of your life?
Okay, wait, let me find it. Well, one of my favorite artists ever in my life,
Mm-hmm.
which
I'm happy you
I
have
discovered at that
alphabetical
time.
order. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit confused about this. So it's this guy called Susumu Yokota, who's Japanese. He also died pretty early, sadly, but he managed to release so much music. And he has he basically made everything. There's like house, techno, ambient.
I think I've heard this the
He's
name,
amazing.
but I can't
I need
like
to find them though. There you go.
figure a song right now.
I have so many. I don't even know where to start from. Okay, maybe this was probably the first one I've ever heard, or like one of the first ones. Is it this one? I think it's this one. No, this one.
Suspense.
Because there's one with like a Joni Mitchell sample. I think it's this one.
Okay, you can play it.
I want the tempo to be perfectly right. Well, go for it.
It's a sample from
Johnny Mitchell.
Johnny Mitchell.
But the song, I forgot the name of the song. I think it's Children something, because Kodomotachi in Japanese means children.
Okay.
So I think the Johnny Mitchell song also is called.
Do you?
I don't know, maybe I'm saying something
Can you
completely
still
wrong.
speak Japanese?
Yeah, but not very well. I mean, if I go to Japan, I survive.
You could
I can get
survive.
by.
Like I've been
But
living in Denmark for 5 years and I couldn't survive.
No, but I kind of have like deep conversations, but I can survive.
So now you know much better Korean, right?
Yeah, but my Korean is not that great
No,
either.
now you will. I'm sorry, but you need to give a message to your Korean friends in Korean. Yes,
I can just say 안녕하세요, which is like hello.
you really
들어주셔서 감사합니다.
you
Thank
played
you for listening.
okay.
That's all.
I've never seen you so shy. Okay.
Because it's awkward, like to speak a language that nobody here can understand. And I'm just like, yeah.
Exactly. I was thinking like you could say literally whatever. No one is gonna be like what? Yeah.
No,
And
but
then
I need to get better at my Korean, to be honest.
But you work in Korea and you work in Korean with only Korean people. That's what you told me. So I think
No,
you
it's
are
true,
not
it's true.
just surviving.
No, it's true, but like everybody is really patient with me, and they know that like I cannot speak properly, so they understand. Like it's like when you speak with a kid. Like I have friends that now like really understand how I speak, and they're like, like I say it in wrong Korean, they say it in better Korean. I'm like, yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Okay. So every time there is a problem, you're like, can you explain it like you would explain it to a 5 years old
Yeah.
children?
Yeah, also because Korean, like, there's formal Korean and like informal Korean. And formal Korean is like much harder. So sometimes if you go like, I don't know, to the bank or the post office, they speak.
You need to speak formal.
Yeah, and I'm like, please speak to me as I'm.
What happens if you go and you speak not formal Korean in a formal Korean environment?
I mean, if you're a foreigner, then they understand.
excuse
They're like, okay, yeah, we understand that you cannot speak formal Korean. That's fine. But it's very rude if a Korean does it.
I don't know. I already started the Korean chapter. I wanted
yeah.
to. I wanted to finish first the London one.
Yeah, you're right.
But
Sorry.
I think I'm like. Then I just
So
need
much
to
to
know.
say.
I just need to know
Sorry.
what happened in London
Yes.
and what made you. I think you told us like already that your vibe or your idea in general was going there. Like you were so
Yeah.
attracted by that culture that you wanted to at least try living there.
Yeah, that's true. Well, because as I said, like I was supposed to be in London for 1 year and then go back to Japan. That was the original plan. Then I started working at NTS and I really liked the job. So I was like, okay, I'm not moving out of London now. I will do at some point. I don't know when, because I don't want to quit this job. And then Corona, like COVID, gave me an opportunity, because when the pandemic started, my job became remote, which was really hard to imagine before, because I was in the studio all the time. But we had to find a way, because we couldn't be like in a tiny room with like people. That was like the worst during the pandemic, without any windows.
But
or
that was
anything.
also the part where technically everything had to move into this like very remote.
We had
so
to like change everything, like to
make it work.
make a new setup
And
to make it work
people were only streaming
from home.
from home.
Yeah.
So there was all
We
these-
closed the studio. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I went back to Italy for a bit during the pandemic, and then I was like, you know what? Now that I can work remotely, maybe I can do this from Asia. Because, of course, going back to Bari during the pandemic was really depressing, in all honesty, because I was like,
Yeah, we spoke about that.
I felt like I was 16 again, and everything that I did afterwards never really happened. I was like back in my teenage room with like the same posters on the wall, and I was like, what the
we
hell?
had the same trauma. I mean, you moved back, and then you're like, no, I was still there. I was like, this is just too much.
Like too much, yeah. Yeah, because you moved during COVID as well.
Yes. That
And-
was the main reason.
Yeah, I think COVID like made me put things
Take
into
a-
perspective and
but
be
make-
like,
make
okay,
you
now
cho-
I need to do it. It's now or never.
Did it make you take a decision that you wouldn't have taken otherwise? Because for me, it was that. Like, if it wasn't that weird time with all that like psychological
Yeah.
things connected to it, I would have never taken the decision to come here to basically work for free for like limited time, also not knowing what would have happened because I had a job in Bari. So it was really like throwing like something in the air and just see where it would land. But it was mainly because of the condition of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So
No, for me, like, I've always wanted to try live in either Japan or Korea, but I was postponing it because I was like, I don't want to move there and do whatever. Like, I want to do their
what were you
move
scared
with
about?
a purpose. No, I was just like, I really like my job in London. I don't want to leave it now. And also, if I have to move, I want to do something that makes sense to me. Like, I don't want to move and just do a random thing that I don't really want to do.
Of course, you wanted to go there, not just to be like, oh, I'm traveling, and I'm traveling for like 2 years now.
Yeah, I wanted to like have
Give a purpose.
Yeah.
Was there something you were, or you still like aiming to do in
music? I mean, that's always like, I just wanted to like go there and like get to know the music scene over there because I was really into what was happening, and I was like, I really want to see it.
And we can say that this is something that you are currently doing, no? Because then after you moved, you moved to Seoul, still working for NTS in like as a long distance.
Yeah,
like
I did
remote,
that for a year. Yeah.
For 1 year.
Yeah, so I moved there August 2021, kept my job, because basically I was like, hey, I'm working remotely from Italy. Can I work remotely from Asia? And they were like, okay.
No problem.
And then I was in between Japan and Korea, so it took me like a few months to actually pick. But that was the time where I was like, you know what, actually I want to go to Korea now, not Japan, because Japan felt very familiar to me, and I wanted something completely new. And also I was more drawn to the current like Korean scene, because I love Japanese music, but mostly it's like older Japanese music, and the current scene wasn't that exciting to me, whereas like the current Korean scene was like booming, and
Yes.
also I'm really into K-pop as well.
I want to know about this because I'm a very noob about Korean music in general. I know it's huge. I know all the K-pop culture in general is something absolutely out there.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it. I don't know what people are excited about because I'm like, I need to know it. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read your book because you wrote a book about K-pop culture.
Yeah, it's about like the Korean wave, so-called Korean wave, so how Korean pop culture became a thing outside of Korea. So one half of it is about
That's
K-pop,
exactly what I
and
need
the
to
other
do.
half is about like K-drama, which is the TV series. But mainly it's like, why are people talking about Korea so much these days? That's
Can you spoil me, or should I read the book?
I mean, the spoiler is through K-pop and K-dramas, so TV series that you can find on Netflix now, but you couldn't back in the day. Korean culture became really popular outside of Korea, so I kind of like explain how that happened, like just.
It's like
It's like the story, it's the story of like how K-pop became a thing, how K-pop was born, and how it went abroad.
When did it start?
At the beginning of the 90s. So K-pop is like as old as us, basically.
Okay. Is it like the same as I don't even know how it's called that era, but when like Spice Girls and
It started,
boy bands were.
It started a little bit. So like, I mean, the canon says that the first K-pop group is this group called Sotaeji and Boys, and they started around like 1992.
Do you have a song from these guys?
I think I do.
I wanna listen to it right now.
It's kind of like Beastie Boys kind of vibe.
Right.
So it's not like what people think of K-pop right now when K-pop started. Oh, I need to find it. I should have something.
Take your time.
I should have thought about this.
I'm gonna ask you more questions in the meantime. If
But,
you can multitask, I can ask you some more questions.
Yeah, I don't know if it's. Maybe I have it on the other.
It's okay if you don't have it.
Maybe.
It's fine.
No, maybe I do.
But
Maybe I do.
I actually anything you have from also everything is written in Korean there. So
Yeah, but there's no Soteji. Why? I thought I had some. Maybe I have it on the other.
do you have anything?
Sorry, bummer.
That comes to your brain right now that would be like, this is like give
I mean,
an
I
explanation of what is K-pop.
I have some
right
K-pop to play afterwards. Sorry, I'll keep it for later.
Okay.
Sorry, no Soteji. I thought I had some. I was
Okay.
pretty sure I did.
No problem.
But my USB is a mess. I'm sorry. It's such a mess.
So good. But so the you actually you moved there, then you started. You ended up your experience with NTS.
Yeah.
And then you started something still music related. What
Yes.
were you doing in the?
Well, so I moved there, still working for NTS. I did that for a year, and then I started it was still COVID time, so not so much was happening at that time. Then Korea started to reopen almost a year after, because I moved in August. They reopened in November a little bit. When I mean reopen, everything actually was really safe in Korea because the cases were always very low and everything was open. But music and all that was not happening.
Was all shut. Yeah.
They did some they reopened the clubs and the venues in November for 2 weeks, and then they shut them again. And then it all started from May 2022. So that's where I started going to places and meeting people and going to all these music gigs
Events.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is how I met most of my friends basically. And then I quit my job and I took a gap year. I was on this working holiday visa in Korea, so I was trying to figure out what to do. Then I started writing the book, and then basically now it's been a year and a half that I've been working with this label called Sound Supply Service, which is a South Korean independent label, which mainly releases experimental electronic. But of course, that's a big umbrella, so there's a lot of different things.
All from local artists? Artists from,
I'm the only foreigner. So everybody is from Seoul.
From Seoul,
or cities nearby, but live in Seoul. And
you told me that Korea is basically only Seoul.
Yeah, Korea is very Seoul-centric. Because Korea is very small, first of all.
Yeah.
So it's
geographically.
Yeah, big population, around 60 million, I think is. So kind of same as Italy,
no?
but it's half of Italy basically, South Korea only.
So it's very dense.
It's very dense, and everybody moves to Seoul basically. There's other big cities, but everybody wants to go to uni in Seoul, want to work in Seoul.
Is there I think this is something that I have seen, that I have realized working on many. That's also one of the reasons why we got in touch again, is because I was working on a project in Seoul. And the main thing that was coming up by working into this, it was a lounge room space for the department store, is that they have a very, the society is very divided, very...
It's very hierarchical.
Yeah. And they were having this, not even even for these lounge spaces, they had tiers.
Yeah.
Based on how much money you spend every year in the...
There's a lot of stuff like that, it's true.
And I remember the request was all this elevated, all these because it was the top tier, and then they wanted to, everything had to kind of represent the people that were there. So people weren't going there would be feeling that they belong to that. So it's that gave me a little bit I don't know, a weird feeling, because I think in Europe it's not anymore like that.
Definitely not here in Denmark.
Not in Denmark for sure. No, everyone is just rich here, so it's
it's more. I guess. Korea is a country that became really rich really fast, because it was divided after the Korean War between 1950 and 1953. And after the war, Korea was incredibly poor. It was one of the poorest countries in the world. I'm not exaggerating. And then in the span of less than 50 years, they became a first world country, if I can say so.
Yeah, they went up into the
Yeah, now it's a fully developed. Oh, it's always weird to use this words, but
No, but I understand what you
so the quality of life as complete
changed.
our generation, their grandparents, they lived under the war. They saw the division of Korea and all that, and then they had a series of dictatorships. It was really brutal up until the 90s, and then suddenly
everything just changed for good.
Everything changed for good, and now now they live in a free country, in a rich country. People have lots of opportunities.
Democratic,
But at the same time, of course, there's a lot of economic disparity, in other countries, and there's a lot of showing off that you're rich.
That's also what. But I saw it also much more in the young generations.
Yeah.
No. So
I think it comes from that. That is because they were so poor, then now being rich is a good thing. and they want to show it off a bit. Like I'm trying to.
I don't
know.
think it's a negative. To be honest, I don't think it's a negative thing to show it off in a proud way. No,
Yeah,
so being like
but
I worked so much and
No, of course.
I'm able now to enjoy life in this way. It's not something that
No,
people
no.
need to be ashamed
I mean,
necessarily.
that's
but
totally
yeah.
good.
But when it becomes like very, very like.
But there's
cheesy
also
and-
like, on the other end, there's also like, it's one of the countries with the highest individual debt because people buy, like, they care
Buy
so
more
much
than
about
can
like
afford.
buying like luxury goods and stuff that they make debts in order to buy that stuff. They can be very materialistic. And also there was a survey like around the world that they were like, what's the most important thing in your life between like health, family, and money? And like South Korea, like in the first place was like money, and other countries were like health and family. And so that makes you think, okay, yeah, I mean, money is important, but also.
But do you see this thing reflected in your, because it's also like, it's not a very it's a very international place, but it's not so international though that you, as we said before, now you work with in a Korean company with only Korean people, while for me, for instance, I've worked here for 5 years and I've only worked with other immigrants like you know. Do you see this thing? Do you see like do they talk with non-Korean people in a different way? They have a different way of communicating also, of being maybe more accepting, more open, or.
I mean, it really depends, but you find a lot of people in Korea that actually haven't really traveled abroad, or maybe they only been to like Japan or like other Asian countries. So of course, when they meet somebody that's from Europe or the US or wherever else, of course they have a lot of questions. But they also don't like, we're foreigners, so we're all like in the same
Yeah,
group.
in the same group. Yeah.
And I can see they're very curious. Like, I mean, they ask me a lot of questions because there's definitely like cultural differences. But also like, they think Denmark and Italy are like the same thing, kind of. And I'm like, no, it's actually very different.
Yeah. Same people, same area.
But there are foreigners in Korea for sure, especially in Seoul. But of course, it's a small community. Like the Italian community is pretty small. I think it's like in the whole of Korea is around like 1,000, maybe 2,000 people.
That's really not a lot.
Yeah.
Especially for Italians, which
Yeah,
are like
yeah.
everywhere. Yeah. And regarding this, you had also the pleasure to be the DJ of the Italian embassy. I want to say it. I would put it on like capital letters on my CV because it's absolutely incredible. And I also remember watching your stories that it was like so.
It was fun.
No, it was so fun because I mean, was it only?
Yeah, it was mainly like 90.
Was it only Italian people?
95% Italians and then some Koreans from
Okay,
institutions and I don't know, or like Koreans that speak Italian, people that maybe have lived in Italy. But yeah, because on the 2nd of June, like since it's an Italian holiday, they always throw this big party. And last year there was this guy Nico, shout out to Nico, that now lives in Berlin, who used to work at the embassy in Seoul, and we met like through other friends, and so he was like, do you want to play? And I was like, okay. And it's fun because you just play like all the pop Italian hits.
Yes.
And people go crazy.
It doesn't feel like weird that you're like, is this like, where are we? Yeah.
It was fun though.
I remember the stories. It was like, I would love to be there right now.
I did it this year again, but I gotta say last year was a bit more fun. This year there were a lot of people. It was crazy.
They like made it bigger?
Yeah, there was like, you couldn't even walk. Like there were so many people. It was
Maybe
like
it's because you played and then
Oh.
last year was fucking crazy. We should go there. Okay. Anyway, I wanna listen to a song. So
Okay.
you have now the terrible
Italian?
We have some requests
Yeah.
from the crowd.
I mean, I have
Too many
my.
requests. One, please, just one.
This is my embassy playlist.
One at a time, please. One at a time. Oh,
An Italian one. Can I go really tacky?
you have to go tacky.
Because I
think
really
it's the
like
whole
tacky
purpose.
Italian pop songs. Or I can do also like cool Italian stuff.
No, you decide. Paoli is requesting like a tacky Italian song.
Okay, this is very niche. The guy is not niche at all. The guy is Tiziano Ferro, who's
Okay.
like an Italian pop star. Everybody
I've
knows
never
him.
heard this song before.
But there's this song called Mia Nonna, which means my grandmother. It's so funny, but the production is also so good.
I've never heard.
To be honest, I love pop, which is also why like I love K-pop, and which is also the reason why I moved to Korea, because I was like, I love experimental music and I love pop music, and in Korea, like I feel like you get both. Because in London, sometimes it would be too serious. So it's like, oh, pop music, no, shit taste.
Yeah,
you shouldn't
everyone
play
wants
this.
to be.
You can't like this, and I'm like, no, I'm really proud of my shit taste. Well, I am now. I used not to be, but. Okay,
Let's
I'll
go.
do it.
Hai un po' preteso, troppo già depositato in banca. Testa, gelosia e poi pazienza, volontà. Approfittare dei miei punti deboli funziona, ma alle lunghe anche il più fedele se ne va. Con te parli, sbagli, taci, sbagli, canti, sbagli, troppi sbagli. Il primo posto dentro al cuore tocca a te, tutti gli altri posti dentro al cuore sempre a te. Adesso passo col rosso, non ho più addosso te che mi urli.
Tiziano Ferro.
Pochi prigionieri, quelli miei di ieri.
Listen to the chorus if you can understand Italian.
Mia nonna dice chi cerca trova, ma chi non trova cerca troppo e forza di cercare cade giù. Il buono è buono, ma il meglio è meglio. Sfidi la sorte, guarda caso perdi tu. Chi cerca trova, ma chi non trova cerca troppo e forza di cercare cade giù. Il buono è buono, ma il meglio è meglio. Sfidi la sorte, guarda caso perdi tu. Perdi tu, perdi tu, perdi tu, perdi tu. Hai consumato gli ultimi residui di calma. Mi so dura prova la mia buona volontà. E amore giuro fino all'altro ieri era tanta. Bruciata ormai dalla morbosa possessività. Con te ridi, sbagli, sogni, sbagli, corri, sbagli, troppi sbagli. Il primo sguardo la mattina tocca a te, poi tutti gli altri sguardi successivi sempre a te. Ah, cuore battagliero per un uomo fiero, un sguardo un po'
I have to admit, I know Tiziano Ferro, of course, like every Italian person knows Tiziano Ferro.
cerca troppo e forza di cercare cade giù.
Do you know this song from Tiziano Ferro?
Ma il meglio è meglio. Sfidi la sorte, guarda caso perdi tu. Chi cerca
It's
trova,
called Mia Nonna.
non trova.
Never heard this song before.
Forza di cercare cade giù. Il buono è buono, ma il meglio è meglio. Sfidi la sorte, guarda caso perdi tu. Perdi tu, perdi
That's it.
I just wanted to confirm that this is a very like.
But it's not famous because it wasn't a single, but it's in the same album of Perdono,
So everyone
which is the
skip this.
famous one.
Listen to Perdono.
Yeah, no, it's,
No, you know Perdono.
Sono un po' stanco, stammi lontano.
Just say yes. For the sake of the.
Nonna dice chi cerca trova.
So,
but did you hear the wisdom message in the song? Mia nonna dice chi cerca trova, ma chi non trova trova. It's, check out the lyrics, check out the translation. There's some like powerful messages in the song. For real.
and the remark on this song was great production, which I agree. It's like early 2000 music, Italian pop music, very kind of UK influence a little bit. I remember Perdono also has this very love it. Perfect song, perfect song.
Shout out Tiziano Ferro.
Shout out to Tiziano Ferro. Absolutely, the like anthem of my young me.
Years.
Um,
He also has a song where it says Paola, oh, Paola.
I remember that.
Which is the only Italian song that I know where they say Paola actually. Anyway.
There was something you literally told me out of the.
No,
mic. I had so many things we didn't speak about.
I
Now you
I
have the
forgot now, but I feel like,
opportunity.
we only had an hour and I'm now, like, we were talking, I'm like, oh, I want to say this and I want to say that, and now I forgot everything.
I
But
want to say, if I can.
also
say,
because I was so nervous at the beginning, now I'm like, okay, now I can
now
keep
there's
going.
nothing to be nervous
But
about.
it's like the end.
Now it's 4, but the good thing about today that I'm really happy, thanks to Radio Panini. We have like 3 hours. We had today 3 hours together.
Yes.
It's like a little Nomadi takeover. And for whoever doesn't know, Paola is gonna take over the decks for the next hour, and then I'm gonna unfortunately also take over the decks after, which it's gonna be.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
It's
So
gonna be
please
awful.
leave the room.
No. I'm gonna ask everyone to go
It's the
have a
perfect
beer
time
outside,
to like smoke a cigarette, go outside, go to
and
the
then
toilet.
we come back when she's like warmed up. Then we do that. Okay. So thank you so much
They're
for
talking
coming
about
here.
Tiziano Ferro.
They're
No,
talking
thank
about
you. Thank you for having me.
Such an iconic personality. I don't know why we didn't speak about Tiziano Ferro for like an hour today.
We should, to
Anyway.
be honest.
Controversial.
It shouldn't be though.
Thank you so much, Paola, for
Thank
coming.
you.
For
Thank
coming
you.
all the way from Seoul.
I mean, I was in
Um,
Italy, so it was easier to come.
I need to sell it. I need to sell it better. Anyway, thanks for coming here. Thanks for your time, for telling your story.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me.
I
Thank you for
suggest-
suggesting this.
I have to do this thing because I have the opportunity. If you like K-pop culture, and it's only Italian.
It's only in Italian.
But if you're Italian, which is the majority of the people, that
People
are
here.
right here, or that maybe are listening
Even
right
though
now,
we're in
you
Copenhagen.
should look for the book called
Fattore K, l'ascesa della cultura pop coreana.
Fattore K, which I'm gonna read also.
Please.
I had to read it before, but
Hopefully
okay.
it's enjoyable.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
and-
Grazie mille.
Bye bye. Party.